Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Craig. I am a retired crane operator, now full-time trader of the ES. My focus is ES. I don't trade NQYM currencies, individual stocks. Um, I decided a while ago that I would put all of my effort into uh, being the very best at one thing, and I think I've accomplished that in many ways, and there are certainly ways that I will refine going forward. But I wanted to just take the opportunity to uh, give something back, and so hopefully, if you found your way here, you find something useful, and I can add to your repertoire. So, with that said, I'm going to talk about um, VWAPs. And so uh, I VWAP pretty hard. I'm just going to give you a little view of what I'm talking about when I say hard. I VWAP really hard. These are individual VWAPs, and we'll get into that later. But everything I do revolves around VWAPs, and so a lot of people think VWAP is something that can be uh, that is just the developing VWAP, the VWAP of today, or the VWAP of the full session in blue. But uh, I, with the help of IRT, I have found that uh, you can anchor individual bars um, with a VWAP, and so this is a 30-second chart with a VWAP anchored to each 30-second bar. So you can go as high or as low as you want, as detailed or as broad as you want. Um, and I don't necessarily need all of these VWAPs. What I'm looking for is this edge here and this edge here. And so these are just extra. I don't really care about the ones in the middle. I care about the ones on the edge, and I call that the sandbox. So we'll get into that later. All of this can be done manually. I'm just a little bit on the lazy side and don't want to look at charts and set up charts and draw VWAPs and anchor VWAPs and move VWAPs. So I've found a way to automate it. So I use developing and I use the full. The full VWAP is what I would refer to as a 1 day back VWAP. It's anchored at the ETH open, which is 1700 hours, 1700 hours CST, uh, and it goes all the way through till 1700 hours the next day. So it's the VWAP of an entire day. The developing VWAP, which you'll see in pink here, is anchored at 8:30 in the morning, which is market open CST, and it goes till the end of the day, and then it's done at the end of the RTH session at 4 o'clock. So my RTH goes from 8:30 a.m. CST to 4 o'clock p.m. CST, and my full session goes from 1700 to 1700. So from here to here. And then I use what I refer to as days back VWAPs. My days back VWAPs are 2 days back, and that is anchored to the previous day. 3 days back, 4 days back, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And I have as many as 60 on some charts, particularly my higher time frame chart. This is what I use for actual trading. I only have 15 on here, and it's uh, worth noting that uh, all of these are redundant. Um, so I flashed my automatic VWAPs. The automatic VWAPs, these bands of consolidating VWAPs are actually um, the same levels that you're going to see here. So if I turn these off, you'll see that they overlap with the consolidating bands on this 12-minute chart. And if I want to see more, I simply go to a higher time frame. So I'll do a 15-minute. And if I need to see more, I can go to a 20-minute or 21-minute. And if I want to see more, I can go to a 30-minute. So there's a couple of ways that we can adjust VWAPs. We can get more VWAPs, which I think I have plenty of, um, or we can raise the time frame up. And what that effectively does is puts the space in between the VWAPs a little bit further away, but we can still see the higher time frame consolidation. So I don't need to see minute detail in here. I just need to see where the next check valve is uh, higher. And so when we hold this level, that well, I'll cross that bridge when we get there. So these levels are the days back VWAPs, and I can look and I can see uh, 10 days back, 9 days back, 8 days, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So up until today, we've been trending down, and the VWAPs have been stepping down each day, uh, which tells me I should be short through here. But something unique happened today, or something interesting happened today. Um, Remember, the full session is 1 day back. So this is yesterday's VWAP, um, or today's VWAP, and you can see that today's VWAP is higher than yesterday's, and it's higher than the day before's. Uh, so we are no longer stepping down, we actually are starting to step up. So that's an interesting change in this intermediate time frame. So that's the days back VWAPs. Um, so I also have manuals. All of these buttons up here are manual VWAPs, and I use these VWAPs uh, because having all of these VWAPs on, say, 20 or 30 days of data is really time CPU intensive to recalculate these on a 30-second chart. Um, so I try to limit the number of days of data that I have loaded, and thus the calculations that are required to update all of my automatic VWAPs. So instead of having 20 or 30 days loaded, I'll use manuals to anchor swing highs and swing lows, and then I can get rid of some of the automatic VWAPs, uh, and I don't have to have so many days of data loaded. So, like when I start out my 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 day, I use no VWAPs. I mark down my higher time frame checks, and then um, I can flip over to an execution chart, and I have these levels in here. But when I go to my execution VWAPs, uh, I don't have to print out, I don't know, it would be thousands of VWAPs to get up here, maybe tens of thousands of VWAPs. So I can see the levels on my chart without actually having to do the calculations of all of these micro VWAPs. So now I messed it up. Oh, I got a problem now. So gonna have to delete these. And I got a couple more. Okay, let's just try that again. Okay, yeah, so um, by doing this, I can have just the line that matters to me out there, and I don't have to recalculate thousands and thousands of bars worth of VWAP. So um, that cuts down on the CPU load. So I have my manuals and I have my automatic VWAPs. I also use reference lines. uh, Reference lines are just horizontal lines. Uh, I use them to mark out where liquidity is. So we know that anybody who got short on this move up here, the first place they put their stop is right above that level. Um, we also know that because VWAPs are the average position from any point in time, that there are stops above here. So the market moves on stop picks, and it its liquidity is used by higher time frame participants, market makers, and uh, 401ks and algorithms to load up on shares uh, or contracts, and they do that by uh, running the market up into areas where they know stops exist and then taking the opposite side of those orders to get short. So for example, when Visa's uh, Visa's earnings report came out today, the market pushed up into the stops that were over here at this level, and higher time frame participants had their orders sitting here because the algos knew at some point, whether they knew it here or they knew it here, they knew that buyers were going to take it up into this level, that the market would, they and the algos would push it up into this level, fire off all the short stops that are left in the market here, and take the opposite side of the trade to get positioned for this next leg down. So I use reference lines to mark those out. I don't use Fibonacci's very often, but I do have some Fibos here. These are just boxes that I use to highlight different areas of price. And then of course my auto VWAPs I turn on and off. So up here I have manuals, autos, some signals. I'll get into those maybe at some point. Uh, these are just buttons to turn on and off, to reset some things that I use to send information to another platform. It just zeroes out the numbers so that they don't continue to print the wrong number. And then I have value areas, points of control, previous high and low, overnight high and low. A lot of those things I accomplish just by using reference lines. I don't really care whether it's the overnight high or low. I'm more interested in whether there's liquidity on the other side of it. So um, I'll use those, and then I use micro composite. I have an interesting and unique way of identifying microcomposites that I use. Uh, Microcomposite points of control. And that's about it. That's the tools. And then I have range bars that I can choose from, Renko bars, uh, time-based bars, and time-based all the way up to a month. And so that's the tools of the trade for VWAPs. And in my next video, I'll talk about how I use them. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.